The euro sign is the currency sign used for the euro, the official currency of the Eurozone and the European Union. The design was presented to the public by the European Commission on December 12, 1996. The international three-letter code for the euro is EUR. In Unicode it is encoded at U+20 AC, a euro sign. In English, the sign precedes the value. In some style guides, but not others, the euro sign is unspaced. Design. The euro currency sign was designed to be similar in structure to the old sign for the European currency unit, A. There were originally 32 proposals. These were reduced to 10 candidates. These 10 were put to a public survey. After the survey had narrowed the original 10 proposals down to 2, it was up to the European Commission to choose the final design. The other designs that were considered are not available for the public to view, nor is any information regarding the designers available for public query. The European Commission considers the process of designing to have been internal and keeps these records secret. The eventual winner was a design created by a team of 4 experts whose identities have not been revealed. It is assumed that the Belgian graphic designer Alain Billiet was the winner and thus the designer of the euro sign. Inspiration for the A symbol itself came from the Greek epsilon, a euro, a reference to the cradle of European civilization, a euro, and the first letter of the word Europe, crossed by 2 parallel lines to a euro certificate, a euro unregistered trademark, the stability of the euro. A European Commission. The official story of the design history of the euro sign is disputed by Arthur Eisenmenger, a former chief graphic designer for the European Economic Community, who claims he had the idea prior to the European Commission. The European Commission specified a euro logo with exact proportions and colors, for use in public relations material related to the euro introduction. While the Commission intended the logo to be a prescribed glyph shape, typographers made it clear that they intended to design their own variants instead. The guitar brand Epiphone has a logo that is very similar to the euro sign. Use on computers. Generating the euro sign using a computer depends on the operating system and national conventions. Some mobile phone companies issued an interim software update for their special SMS character set, replacing the less frequent Japanese yen sign with a euro sign. Later mobile phones have both currency signs. The euro is represented in the Unicode character set with the character name euro sign and the code position U+20 AC, as well as in updated versions of the traditional Latin character set encodings. In HTML, the and euro entity can also be used. The HTML entity was only introduced with HTML 4.0, shortly after the introduction of the euro, and many browsers were unable to render it. The alternative was to use a number 128. Instead, with 128 being the code position of the euro sign in most Windows 125X encodings. An implicit character encoding, along with the fact that the code position of the euro sign is different in common encoding schemes, led to many problems displaying the euro sign in computer applications. While displaying the euro sign is no problem as long as only one system is used, mixed setups often produced errors. One example is a content management system where articles are stored in a database using a different character set than the editor's computer. Another is legacy software which could only handle older encodings such as ISO 8859-1 that contain no euro sign at all. In such situations, character set conversions had to be made, often introducing conversion errors such as a question mark being displayed instead of a euro sign. Care has been taken to avoid replacing an existing obsolete currency sign with a euro sign. That could create different currency signs for sender and receiver in emails or websites, with confusions about business agreements as a result. Entry methods. Depending on keyboard layout and the operating system, the symbol can be entered as Alt-GR+4, Alt-GR+5, CTRL+Alt+4, CTRL+Alt+5, CTRL+Alt+E in Microsoft Word and United States layout, Alt+0128 in Microsoft Windows, CTRL+ a section Shift+E followed by 20 in Chrome OS, CTRL+K followed by =E in the Vintext editor, On the Mac OS operating system, a variety of key combinations are used depending on the keyboard layout, for example, or yen option +2 in British layout, or yen option plus a section shift +2 in United States layout, or yen option $+ in French layout. The compose key sequence for the euro sign is =E, use. Placement of the sign also varies. Partly since there are no official standards on placement, countries have generated varying conventions or sustained those of their former currencies. For example, in Ireland and the Netherlands, where previous currency signs were placed before the figure, the euro sign is universally placed in the same position. In many other countries, including France, Germany, Italy and Spain, an amount such as a 3.50 is often written as 3.50 AA instead, largely in accordance with conventions for previous currencies and the way amounts are read aloud. In English, the euro sign, a euro like the dollar sign, and the pound sign, a euro, is placed before the figure, unspaced, as used by publications such as the Financial Times and The Economist. When written out, euro is placed after the value in lowercase. The plural is used for 2 or more units, and euro cents are indicated with a period, not a comma, for example, 1.50 euro, 14 euros. No official recommendation is made with regard to the use of a cent sign, and usage differs between and within member states. Sums are often expressed as decimals of the euro. The most common abbreviation is C, but the cent sign, a cent, also appears. Other abbreviations include CT, cent. In Spain, SNT, and I. References. External links, Euro name and symbol, Directorate General for Economic and Financial Affairs of the European Commission, Communication from the Commission, the use of the euro symbol, July 1997, Directorate General for Economic and Financial Affairs of the European Commission, typing a euro symbol on a non-European QWERTY keyboard. Several methods are shown for A and others special characters.